Yeah, can you see it? All right. Hi, and welcome to the 50th, I think, yes, 50 Sacred Sister Circles. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for coming back. If you're coming back, thank you so much for joining for the first time. If that's what you're doing today, let me get my hair out of my face. Had a crazy morning, y'all. Ugh. It's like when life catches up with you. Anyways, thank you so much for coming here. We are going to we are going to do so many things today. Hopefully, we can get it all done. Um, we're going to start as usual. I'll just tell you the schedule. We always start with some sacred movement. Sacred movement is really important because it helps get blood flowing. It helps get digestion moving. That's a huge thing that I think we spend so much time on. Is just how, your colon is right on top of your womb. There are so many little things that we can do to just get the body moving. You can be doing everything else, but if you're not moving, your body's still going to be stagnant. And sacred movement also helps with stagnation in our everyday lives. So we're we're moving physically to get things moving in other realms of our lives as well. So it's a way to connect with our body, have it be able to do the things that we want it to do. It's a way to connect with our femininity, and of course, build strength, all of those good things. So we always start with some sacred movement, even just a little bit, even if it's really low key, just focusing on making each of our sacred movements really count, right? And then we always move on to pouring libations, praying to the ancestors, um, and we'll we always open the gateway the first of the month. So today we'll be opening gateway 0, and then we move on to studying the gateway, however it is we do that. Sometimes we do it out of the Sacred Woman book, but we also have other ways, through other texts written by other ancestors and other spiritual leaders who have good insight and who also might align a little more with our root working hoodoo practice, which is really what we focus on, right? Is how to be a sacred woman. And still be a root worker and have a root worker's perspective on life, and live your life as a conjure woman, or however you identify. And that's the other thing we try and do in this group is, try and make sure that, we're remaining open to all possibilities despite any language that is in the Sacred Woman book. We're still, finding ways to apply the knowledge to our own unique lives and our own unique choices, right? We're not trying to all, end up looking like Erica Badu by the end of the year, though. I mean, maybe that's your goal, but we're just trying to, find the most authentic version of ourselves and live it, and do that in the most, respectful, spiritual way possible, a way that helps ourselves grow, a way that inspires people who happen to meet us or be around us, and helps in that way make the world a better place just through living our own lives. So that's basically the goals of our sister circle and the schedule. So that means that right now we're going to start with some womb yoga dance. Well, I have a little bit to do here because I decided to try and make some flows so that it wasn't, just us going through the book or anything like that. So, we're putting the moves together. But our first thing that we're going to do, I call the womb wellness journey flow. Basically, in essence, we go dance to the song "We Remember" by Queen. I just posted this on Instagram, and we start I'm going to just say the names. I'm not so familiar with those. Then we'll just flow through it. We start with the Healer Within Awaken. So this is our womb wellness journey womb yoga dance. So our Healer Within awakens. And then I added the move, the Ancients. The Ancients I thought was a very beautiful thing to add because we like to add our ancestors. So this is kind of our way of opening up to the divine, to the spirit realm, to ask for, help on this journey, guidance on this journey. So the Healer Within awoke, and then our feet turn out and open, our knees bend, and our hands are open and offering. Then we have the 4-direction protection. So we hold our womb and we push out with our hands. Opposite direction, go forward and protect the back. And we come forward again to hold our hands to our sides in Womb Divine. Womb Divine, we can roll our hips however we want, all the way down, or just staying here however you feel. And we come back up into Womb Wellness Journey, which has our hands here, and we just keep turning. It's our journey around, through our path, through our struggles. We keep ourselves centered. And finally, after that, we go up into our womb wellness, world womb wellness. We radiate out to others, our world womb wellness. All right, so I'm going to play the song, and I'm sure we'll figure that one out. It's a pretty simple one. It's a short song, though.
They say the way is dead. They say our way is no more. And that the Nile Valley legacy ended thousands of years ago. But we are here, and we do news. I am the shrine. I am the temple. I am the sanctuary. I am the church. I am the mosque. I am the cathedral. I am holy land. I am the altar. It is lodged in our DNA, tapped down deep in our melanin, our core. So we traveled deep within, and we fasted, and we prayed, and then one day, one by one, Jah Rastafari, Shalom, Alhamdulillah, Hare Krishna, Hare Bo, then 2 by 2, Namyo Krenge Yo, Hallelujah, Aho, Ashe. Then thousands began to wake up to the ancient healing Nile Valley legacy. Catapult to the returning lotus woman within you. We are here. We are here.
Okay, now we're going to move on to our new moon flow. So if you have some way you like to make your floor more comfortable, I have a blanket. I need a womb mat or whatever those womb yoga mats. I've seen them for the sister circle, whatever. I need the or sister circle. What are they called? The womb yoga dance for Queen Afua. They have these pretty purple ones. I was like, oh, I need a cute yoga mat for my womb yoga. Anyways, the blanket will do. So for the first one, I should probably move you down to the ground. So for the beginning of this flow, I thought this would be nice for the new moon. Get some thoughts going for really what I guess we're releasing for our womb yoga, or our womb month, our sacred womb month, but also what we know we're trying to gain from this. So let's, we're going to take it easy, going like 10 breaths in each one, very slow, full, and starting on our back. Let's see, this is this. Holding your womb and your feet are together. So relax all the way. Oh. Your hands are like in a triangle. This is like a womb symbol, an ancient womb symbol. So we'll put the triangle right here on our womb and just try to relax completely. Should put on some of those chimes or whatever. I got some birds. Raise your triangle slowly up. Stretch your arms to the sky. Really allow your womb to relax and your head as well. Allow it to stretch on you. Alright, feel free to now do the same womb protection movement that we did before, but slower and at your own pace to stretch and connect with your womb area. When you're ready, we are going to go into a position called the pyramid. So our feet and legs will be up, and so our body will be in a V shape. So we're going to lift our legs slowly up together. Get our bodies comfortable and ready to lift. Hopefully with your abs only, but use whatever level you're at to get up into this position as best you can. Alright, so we're going to bring ourselves into the altar position. Feet together, and we'll let our body relax. Stretch your neck. And put our hands down. Stretch our spine. And twist. This stretches for the womb and for the spine. From here, we are going to put one leg under the other. Oh, here, I think I was supposed to start with my leg. Apologize. This is called Falcon Perch. You can find all of these moves in Overcoming an Angry Vagina by Queen Afua. She has taken pictures of all these moves. In Secret Woman, there's only some of them, like half. But in Overcoming, there's like over 100, I think. So. Alright, let's switch our legs. Let's try and keep our back as straight as possible. With womb yoga dance, it's less about doing it absolutely perfectly and more about doing it to the best of your ability, really feeling the moves, feeling them within your body, feeling in control of your body, and one with your body, connecting with your femininity and your fluidity. So really trying to flow from each movement to the next, and really flow while you're within the moves as well, while keeping a mind on your womb. From here, we're going to go to Falcon Rises. So I'm going to move the camera real quick. But stay seated for a second and I'll show you the move. So you simply go from the position you were in, and we're going to have our wrists crossed and we rise. The legs are straight and our wrists are crossed. Falcon rises. Our arms are going to come out and our back foot lifts for falcon flies. And we're going to cross our legs over and again do falcon rises with the other side. All right, our arms go out, leg up again for falcon flies. And we're coming to the middle, lifting our arms up into temple light. Our wrists are crossed again. Our hands are open to receive temple light. You are the temple. So that was our new moon flow for today. I think it's time to start our studies. So let me roll up my blanket, y'all. I wanted to show you all the altar real quick because we're going to be talking a lot about womb altars. But we'll start with everything. Let's see, y'all are on my bed right now. Let's see how I can get you a little closer. Okay, perfect. Probably should have put that better. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm all lost in the book right now. I was all trying to be fancy and get to the altar. I mean the the rest of the year's planning, and now I'm all like stuck at the beginning. Like, what am I doing? All right, here I am. All right, we're on page 28. If you have a book and you are trying to follow along with your book, we are on page 28, Gateway 0, Sacred Womb, Daily Spiritual Observances. And the Gateway 0 is kind of like a prerequisite. It tells us kind of what we're going to be generally focusing on for the rest of the year, because all the gateways do go together. They do meld together, and they do also, they overlap in so many ways. So Gateway 0 is a way for us to kind of start to look at ourselves a little more critically, see what it is we can improve, or what we may need to be letting go of, really pinpoint what it is that we want to be working on. So the same thing is kind of going to happen for our womb mojo bags, except that with the mojo bags, I mean, you can, if you already know, like, this is what my thing is I need to work on, or this is where I need to grow. And so it's like, you're not exactly going to be making it like, I need to get over this person, but rather, focusing on what harmful behavior in you allows, for you to not be saying no when you shouldn't be saying no, for you to be putting yourself in situations where these things occur, or like, is there family you need to be like releasing, is there, it's looking critically at ourselves and seeing those things. So your bag may be just like super general, just like a womb mojo bag to just connect with yourself, but then it can also be one that is connecting with something really specific, like you're, I don't know, 20 years deep in a marriage and you guys have some things you need to work on. I mean, that should be the only time somebody really in your in your womb mojo bag to be, in my opinion. If it's a super long, relationship, marriage type of situation, I think that person should be in. But I mean, if you guys, I don't know, if you haven't signed a contract, I don't know. I don't think that anyone else, unless maybe it's your kids, I'm not sure. But I mean, yeah, but these are going to be bags that really focus on, what it is that we're learning here, and then it will help us keep our minds on what it is that we're learning and applying it to our everyday life. So the gateway element for Gateway 0 is water. The sacred womb is the gateway to all gateways. And when you think about water being the element for the gateway, it really makes you think about how your womb is supposed to be really floating within your body. It's not supposed to be weighed down by your colon because you eat, meat every single day and cheese every single meal or whatever. Because that's, what we're really striving for, is just to better ourselves. We're not trying to be like, and I'll never eat a piece of chocolate cake again. That's not how, we're trying to live our lives necessarily. We're trying to find ways to be more in balance, to find ways to be more healthy. And that does include, cutting back on a lot of this consumption of processed foods, of foods that, if you can say no to them, you should be saying no to them. If you're, at this time getting food from some other source that, it's beyond your control, or, you're just really struggling with a lot of things, obviously, that type of thing needs to be taken into account. You can't be stressing yourself hardcore on that as well, that you can't, give yourself the right foods or whatever, all things in good time, but working on what you can work on when you can work on it, making the choices when you can make the choices, is part of that growth. It's part of, connecting with your womb. Each gateway represents a spiritual exercise of ascension. The practice offered for Gateway 0, the sacred womb, are to be performed daily for a minimum of 21 days to a maximum of 4 months. Disciplining yourself to honor this path awakens your gateways of divinity so that you can blossom and establish your full sacred center. The sacred womb lays a foundation of womb wellness that will serve as your preparation for the 9 gateways of initiation. Through the 21-day training, or for us, it's the month, you'll learn how to cleanse toxic thoughts, foods, and attitudes out of your divine body temple. You will present to your womb the gift of wellness philosophy. This includes the natural living approach to food, womb rejuvenation techniques, womb affirmations, and womb meditations for total attunement. So this is stuff that, is throughout the book. Some of this I skip, some of it in the circle, because I do it in, other things. I'll be making meditation, audios and stuff. So I just got one of those, what are they called? Pan drums. So hopefully, our meditations will be really, good. And like, they'll be centered around the gateways. So I often skip in these, and then I skip sometimes other things too. So if you have this book, there are a lot of other little tools that I do often skip in the circle. But some of these things we do together. So anyways, the spiritual bath for Gateway 0, she asks us to begin by stepping into the depths of the ocean, into Nu. Nu is the ocean goddess of Egypt, and and when she asks us to get into the water, right, when we it's a baptism. We're baptizing ourselves into this. We're dunking ourselves in. We're covering ourselves. We're letting it wash down our body and off of us. Whatever it is, all those insecurities, all those things that are like, someone's gonna bust out laughing when they find out that I'm trying to, be a sacred woman. Someone's gonna be annoyed because I'm spending so much time on myself trying to, fix things or heal things or let go of things or get things, gain things that are my birthright, and that I deserve to live this happier, more spiritual life where I am more in tune with my ancestors and myself. And by default, then I'm able to spread that understanding to others in my life. and, focus on those relationships because I don't have as much turmoil within myself. You know what I mean? So we're starting with a bath between the hours of 4 and 6 a.m. Now this is very difficult if you live in a apartment. I know, try running the water at 4 a.m. But I mean, do your best. Between 4 and 6 a.m. I mean, some people say as early as 3, some people say as late as 7. So really just do your best to have one of those early baths as quiet as possible before other people. Hopefully it's up and loud in your house. Get yourself some Epsom salts or Dead Sea salts. So this is a really just kind of a detoxing, very simple bath. She says, make a ceremony out of the bath. Light candles and incense, have soft, inspiring music playing. Bless your bath water. So, you can use your herbs to smoke cleanse. You can just use your hands, right? That's what we're going to be doing today. If you have herbs, you have a cinnamon stick to light, and you like to light your cinnamon stick and, let that smoke waft over everything. And you can say your words, say, I consecrate this bath water. Let this water bless me. She says here, you can say, well, she says, use the bath to release all negativity. You can say, I use this bath to release all negativity. You hold your hands over the bath. I use this bath to release all negativity. From my past, however you want to say it, but say it with authority. Remember that because we're root workers, we do hoodoo. You're in command. There's nobody but you and the ancestors. You know what I mean? It's us. And so there is just that power behind that. Like there's not really another authority that you've got to answer to. Like you're in control, you know what I mean? So you can say what you want, you can ask for it with authority, and you can be confident that you're getting it, say it, put some ashay behind your voice, and talk to and talk with authority when you're doing this. So you're blessing your bath water. Release all negativity, everything that blocks the free movement of life, of light, love, healing, and peace through your sacred womb and body temple. There you go. You should write the womb journal. I mean, we all have. Hopefully you saw the post for that. You'll have a womb journal for the year. I have mine. Let's see. I'm hoping to decorate it later. It's pretty plain, but I have one too. A new one just for this year, just to start off. And connect with the womb through writing, and write the affirmations over and over, however it is you like to do it. Hopefully you'll write down what it is you're putting in your bag, what it is, a synopsis of what it is in your letter that you're burning, and let it be something that you're keeping track of how your journey inside of. So yes, so you say, I use this bath to release all negativity, everything that is blocking the free movement of light, love, healing throughout my sacred womb and body temple. Add the essential oil of frankincense to the bath water to open your crown arit or chakra. Frankincense attuned you to the divine oneness of inspiration and divine wisdom. Inter is a word she uses often. It basically means the creator. Oh, always getting messages, even though I don't want messages. Frankincense. And the inter is like the creator, the divine one, however the divine to be. And brings forth divinity and the sacredness of the womb. It eliminates confusion and depression. Place 7 drops of frankincense in your oil bath water. Add 7 to a bowl of purified water on your altar, and sprinkle a few drops around your prayer space. That's like libations, right? Which sprinkles it around the space. So to stop right there, when she says specific things like frankincense, that does not mean that we should all go to and buy some frankincense right now, right? Because unless you have it like that, if you can go to your local store right now, your Whole Foods, and get you some frankincense, and that's plausible for you, and it's not, breaking the bank every month to be doing that, then I mean, all power to you. That is not something that's super plausible to you to be consistently buying these essential oils. You have to remember that, first of all, when we do things like a root worker, we need to be using the things that we have. We need to not feel like there's a need to be buying things always, that your practice is invalid somehow if you don't exactly have frankincense, if you only have lemongrass because that's just what you've somehow ended up with in your house. You know what I mean? Or you bought cedar how long ago and that's just what you've ended up in your house. So as long as it's body, you can use whatever essential oil, or if you have like only an oud or a certain perfume in your house right now. Sorry, I need some water or something. I don't know. If you only have a perfume or something, it's like the one you always use. You know what I mean? Use what you have. Don't feel like you need to be buying all these things. Like when Queen is talking about her medicine bag and like her medicine cabinet, that's the product of her 20 years doing stuff by herself, going through initiations, doing all these things, and then 20 years after that she wrote a book. You know what I mean? So it's like she has all these like materials that it seems like, it's so extensive, it seems like, whoa, like why would I even have that in my house? You know what I mean? But if you have it in your house and you start to build these things up, this is just giving you those tools so later on, hey, like, I have the money for this, and this is something that I could have in my medicine cabinet or in my medicine bag, or however it is you end up, practicing, on whatever level it ends up being, you know what I mean? However you end up doing it, whatever you need to have for your sacred baths. All right, so she says, set up your altar. She has guidelines on page 26, which we'll go back to when we talk about the womb altar mojo bag. She says, anoint yourself with oils. Use the essential oil of frankincense on your crown, between your third eye, and on your third eye, and then the body temple gateway of. Oh, and that's the body temple gateway of supreme spirituality. You anoint your heart, the body temple gateway of compassion and divine love, and your womb area, and the palm of your hands, and the bottoms of your feet to spiritually align yourself for stepping out in power, promise, and faith. So that is what you'll do if you happen to make a womb altar like what I have here. It's a whole womb altar that's for the group. But I understand it's not really plausible for most people to have a huge womb altar or even a really small one and have an ancestor altar and have whatever other types of things you have in your small living space or whatever living space you have, which is why we're making the womb altar mojo bag. But even when you're going to spend time praying with the womb mojo bag, you can do this. You can take, this is like my favorite oud. It's from the royal bloodline, and this one is called Inanna Rose. I think this is the one. Anyways, it's my favorite one. It's my favorite smell. Well, not my favorite smell, actually. There's a different oud that's my favorite, but it's not a perfume. That one's a burning one. So anyway, so you're going to take it, right? And you're going to anoint your crown, your third eye, your heart, your womb, the palms of your hands, so that everything you touch becomes more sacred, and the bottoms of your feet. So then we have, let's see. Oh, somebody got in trouble. Let me like these so we can have some. Oh, it's just not giving me what time it is. We pour in honor of Sankofa. My low battery sign. Let me see if I can. Before I lose you guys mid prayer. We pour in honor of Sankofa, and we answer with Ashe. Sacred and divine Newt, spiritual guardian of the gateway of the sacred womb, please accept our deepest gratitude for your healing presence on our altar and in our lives. Thank you for guidance and inspiration and for your love and blessings, and please accept our love and blessings in return. I pour this libation and in praise and adoration of the sacred mother guardian of Gateway Zero, Newt, the great cosmic mother. Ashe. I pour this libation in praise and adoration of the ancestors of Gateway Zero, Biddy Mason and Queen Mother Moore. Ashe. I pour this libation in praise and adoration of the elders of Gateway Zero, Aunt Iris O'Neill and Dr. Josephine English. Ashe. I pour this libation in praise and adoration of my divine self and my divine contemporaries, Dr. Jewel Pukram and Non Kululu Leko Tiahemba. Ashe. Sacred Spirit, hold us near, close to your bosom. Protect us from all harm and fear, from the blows of life. Direct our steps in the right way as we journey through this vision. Sacred Spirit, surround us in your most absolute perfect light. Anoint us in your sacred purity, peace, and divine insight. Bless us, truly bless us, as we share this sacred life. Teach us, Sacred Spirit, to be in tune with the universe. Teach us how to heal with the inner and outer elements of air, fire, water, and earth. Ashe. Divine Mother Ancestors, give us the power to heal our wombs. Bless the womb of all of us and assist us in the healing of our wombs. Restore our faith that we may grow in strength, power, and knowledge as we recapture the purity and sacredness of our wombs. May the wombs in all of our communities be born again to the eternal heights as womb healing and wellness spread over each and every land. Nuk pu nert himit. Nuk pu unter himit. Nuk pu unter himit. I am a sacred woman. 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 Ashe. We are going to now take a moment of silence for you to call by name in your mind or out loud any ancestors that you would like to join you on your womb journey, either through sacred womb specifically or throughout the entire year as you journey through the gateways. Ashe. All right, we're going to finish up our intro by doing fire breaths. Fire breathing is rapid breathing. We prepare by slowly inhaling 4 times and slowly exhaling all 4 of those times. We wait until you feel really ready to commit to doing all of the fire breaths. We begin with 50, and then we will slowly climb to 100, and then with each gateway we add 100 more fire breaths, until we can get to 1000. So always with fire breaths, if you feel lightheaded or you think you're going to pass out, you should just go ahead and stop and just regular breathe. Fire breathing brings all this oxygen into your mind so that you're able to connect kind of with the spirit realm. You start to feel really open, really a little bit lightheaded. Hopefully not, passing out lightheaded though, like your brain is full of oxygen type of lightheaded. So we're going to start with 50 this first time, to keep it really low and slow, and then we're going to go up every sister circle. All right, I think that was enough. Breathe in 4 times slowly. I don't have my bell this time, but I think we can all count to 50. Your stomach will go out when you breathe in when you breathe out. Yeah, we're just trying to build up the strength in our lungs. Oh, it says YouTube's not responding, but you guys are still there. Let's see. I think I'll just keep going. I don't know. Doesn't know, but we'll see. Anyways. Oh, okay. All right. So, it helps build up your lungs too if you have weaker lungs. So it's really good. So, we will skip over some of this stuff about the meditation. Like I said, there are flower essence. Oh no, my phone is like all over the place. There are flower essence recommendations, including alpine lily, which is supposed to promote femininity through grounding in female organs, pomegranate, for expression of the feminine aspect of self and procreation and worldly creativity. Oh, am I really gonna have to do another video to do this? go live a second time. Please don't make me do this. It's I think we're really gonna have to do this like in a separate video. This is crazy. Like the one time we're doing this, and it's gonna do this again. Okay. Anyway, the first one of the year. Okay, so let's see. Star Tulip, spiritual receptivity. Black-eyed Susan, for clearer insight into your hidden or buried emotions that could be going on at home. We have Angelica for feeling protected and guided, to feel spiritual guardianship during your times of stress. So if you need to feel more connected, you still see me, right? It just keeps telling me that it's like YouTube's not responding. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So it says for Angelica, I think that would be a really good one. If you're feeling like really alone and you're like, oh, I can't feel the ancestors, or I'm just starting out with that, or I can't feel my spiritual, like I feel like I'm alone all the time. My kids, my kids are having a hard morning. All right, so let me see, where was I? They never want to be in their room, right? Let's see. Spiritual tools, the altar. So making the altar is the spiritual tool for this gateway. We also have, let's see, waking up to do your sacred journal writing is the other important thing that I wanted to discuss at this beginning part. Taking the time to write out your thoughts, getting up early in the morning to do so, writing out your hopes, your visions, desires, affirmations, looking for to draw on those things for the support that you need. And then our sacred words for this gateway for final opening is Divine Creator, help me to honor and treat my womb in a most sacred way. Thank you for all the blessings you have granted me on this sacred journey. Okay, so let me just make sure I wanted to do all of this. Okay, I did want to discuss on page. Okay, we talked about the womb journal. Then we also talk about the womb as a spiritual center. The physical womb, I'm on page 47. The physical womb or uterus is located in the pelvic region, sheltered by the ovaries and fallopian tubes. The most sacred female organ of reproduction, it is hollow and pear-shaped and lies on top of the bladder. The uterus is composed of 3 layers. Beginning in the innermost, there's the endometrium, then there's the myometrium, and on the outermost is the perimetrium. The uterus also has 2 parts, which is the body and the cervix. The body of the uterus extends from the top all the way down to the narrow outer end, and the cervix is the little part that separates into the vagina. To find your own womb, sit quietly with your eyes closed, on cushions, on the floor. Sit upright in a comfortable chair with your feet on the floor and your legs uncrossed. Just relax and be for a minute or 2. Rubbing your palms together until you build up some heat, continuous heat in your hands. Press them right over your womb, and you'll find it between your navel and your pelvic girdle. It's about 3 finger widths down from your belly button. And it's between your fallopian tubes and your ovaries. Remember, your womb and your vagina are 2 different things. So for our womb altar, you could use either one for your representation of what you're trying to connect with, but they are not the same thing. Oh, there it is. No interruptions. So, okay, good. All right, so let me see if I have something for my kids. Fighting over toys. I'm trying to see if I have something for them to play with, but I'm like, my kids they're getting restless, y'all. Gotta wrap up. All right. So, if the womb is damaged in any way, if it has experienced heavy menstrual bleeding or PMS, if it has sustained numerous infections, fibroids, growths, been cut, bruised, irradiated, or chemically sprayed, and experienced invasion or abuse by a partner or someone else, if it has been harmed by abortions, hysterectomies, then levels of creativity and inspiration, stability, success in relationships and endeavors, fertility levels, and joy are potentially impaired. Unless these things are addressed and healed, then they definitely struggle. Oh, screen is clear. Oh no. Yeah, I see it actually. All right, you guys. I think I'm gonna try and end this one because we do have to see the screen for the Woo Mojo. So I'm going to end this and then I'm going to start a new one and share it immediately. Um, I'm gonna share it immediately with the Patreon so you guys will see it, and we're gonna get into the Woo Mojo bag and the Adinkra studies and all that. All right, stop this one right now.